Good morning. Well, it's still morning. 9:44. I don't move too fast anymore, so we're 1st of May, and I'm down here in the basement. Let me see if I can make a little bit more advancement on my project. Yesterday I glued up the bottom. Top has been done. It's setting underneath here. It hasn't been cut out yet. And I think I showed yesterday did some of the carving on this. It'll need a little bit of finish work before that's done. Now I gotta take my piece of steel off here, and this thing really is heavy, and the older you get, the heavier the bar gets. There. Managed to get out of that without losing a finger. Okay, let's see what we got here. Take off the wax paper and have an unveiling. Alright. Pull out the handy dandy wedges. It's amazing what you can do with these things. For all the fancy expensive tools that they've got nowadays, this is how it was done. A little bit of ingenuity and some squeezing. Alright. Okay. Peel that off. Bump it down. And then I will decide what side is going to be the side you see and what side is going to be the side you don't see. This will probably lighten up because it's going to have to be sanded. And that's what I'll be doing this morning. Doing a little sanding, and I will not put anybody through the boredom of watching the video of somebody sanding a guitar top or bottom or whatever. If you've ever done sanding, you know what it's not the favorite part of a project, but it's probably one of the most important parts. So anywho, I'm going to check out for a little bit here and do some sanding, and bring it back on when I get it cleaned up a little bit and see what it looks like. Check it out. Yeah, I'm checking back in here. I've done basic scraping. That's one of my favorite tools right here, along with the flat scraper. And just about leveled out. Got a few little bumpy dumpies here and there along the way, but just show you how this works. You can see the nice curls. If you get it chopped, you can do quite a bit of nice work. And I'm trying to get rid of the glue off the joint so I don't have to sand through that. Any little high spots, as you can see the color's coming back. It's going to probably, that black is probably going to disappear. This is actually the back side here, I believe, because there's a little bit of a divot there that's not going to make a bit of difference in the instrument. It'll be on the inside. And there's probably going to be the side we're going to see. A couple little passes in here. And I like to watch the grain of the wood. Sometimes when you draw the blade, you'll see the grain lift. And that's trying to tell you you're going against the lay of the land. Just to turn it around, and usually that, hopefully the other pieces that you're scraping across is not going to be at cross purposes with you. And that's about it for this one. You can see the colors going where I had darkened it up. Well, it's going to be probably that color when I get finished sanding it. Alright, well, I'm going to shut you down again, and I'm going to fire up the noise machine and do a little bit of sanding. Check it out. Well, good morning. I hope we're recording here. I think we are. We're on a back bench today where I've set up another drill press that I use, and I have a planer blade, rotates, and I use it for thicknessing on some of the projects. So what I want to do is I'm hoping to be able to thickness my top, get it down just a teeny bit, up to 3 millimeters. So this device here is a screw on the end, and there's an, I don't know if I can explain it, but there's an inclined plane in there. So as you run the screw, what it does is it runs the runs the top evenly, but up at an incline, a plane like this. So it just kind of rises up a little bit, and it's very, very tiny amounts at a time do you take off with this type of tool. So might as well. I'm not getting paid for this, but as they say, I'm not getting paid for this, but it's called a safety planer. And I got it from Stu McDonald. They're not cheap, but for some of this stuff you can't run through a surface planer, because what you're going to get on a surface planer a lot of time is you're going to end up getting some snipe on the end. It's going to, when it drops off the end, and it's going to give you something that's uneven. Hopefully this here is going to get me what I want without too much of a problem. I'll run it a little bit and then I will shut the camera off, because there's no need of you watching the whole process, because it's going to get just noisy and boring. Well, at the moment it's being a little too aggressive, so there's only so much adjustment that I can do in one direction here, so I have to drop it down a little teeny bit here, hopefully, so it fits under there a little better just for the start. Then I can raise it to get where I need to be. As you can see, it's nothing happening here, but we're going to, hopefully this is going to be able to I know it doesn't seem like it's moving because it's geared down quite a bit. So, well, let's give it another shot, as they say. You can see by the way it bites in, and it does make a pretty smooth surface. This is part of a burl from a tree. I'm a little bit thin over here, so I'm going to have to come down just a little bit more, and I'll show you the end product. Hopefully I don't get it jammed in there and mess something up. And I'm going to check out for a few minutes while I make some more noise. I hope you don't mind a little background noise from my furnace, which just decided to kick in. Let's see, it's the 5th of May 2020. Continuing on with my experimental ukulele build. I've been working on it and I haven't really put any video out, but I'm going to catch you up a little bit. Got the back plate done. I use oak bracing on it. And it's flat, it's not turned up edgewise like you would normally see. Just something I'm playing with on here. I don't think there'd be much stress, but I wanted to put it that way because I have so many seams in this thing. And I just hoping to keep everybody happy and together. So that's the rough out here. I actually made Here's the top. We're working on the top. There's a plate that goes underneath. And I made a pattern of these bracing just in case I ever decide to use these again somewhere. I'll have them, and if not, well, they can be tossed away. I've just glued the first brace down in the center line, and what I've done is I've taken a piece of wood and I cut a slot in it about the width of the brace on both ends here. And I've cut it. This is a tapered brace, so this is set up so when I slide this, if I slide it this way, it's going to be tight on here, and the same with this one. So it gives it enough down pressure to keep this in place till it sets up. And keeps everything vertical so I don't have to worry about it flopping over. And these are very narrow braces. So that's where that is. And I'll move out of the way a little bit and press on. If the pattern's out of the way. There'll be 2 more braces on that top, which I'll show later on. This is just screwed on at the moment. It's set up. I just wanted to see how everything was going. Everything seems to be looking pretty good as far as tracking. Going to be interesting because this neck is a little bit long for, I would say, for a body this size. But we'll see what happens. Got to experiment and see what goes. And that's showing again the lightning strikes on the edges from my electrical burn that I did on the sides. Okay, quickie. The body is oak, sides bracing, the end pieces. The neck is yellow pine, I believe is what it is. Yellow pine, very hard stuff. A little bit more cherry pieces, scraps that I found from that cherry burl. The braces, I believe, are cherry. The braces for the back are oak. And I think that's about where we are for the moment. I'll be pressing on with this. I have 2 more braces to put on and then set this up. Let me see here. Okay. Almost time for me to take a break for lunch. But anyways, while I'm thinking of it, this ukulele is going to have a 17-inch vibrating string length. That means from here to where the bridge is going to set, it's 17 inches. So it's a little shorter than the other ones that I built, and the other ones that I've used are have an 18-inch scale length. It's not a big deal, I hope. We'll find out. I made me a storyboard so I can line up to cut my frets. I also set it up so when I lay it on here, I could tell where the bridge is going to have to go. So that's it. Time for lunch for me. And this is how cute these little braces came out. If you can see in there, get them nice and close. They're rounded on the tops, nice and flat on the bottom, cut out to fit around the bridge plate. And that's about it for now. I'm going to shut her down and have myself a bite to eat.